of the painter.
The painter was on the ladder. The ladder was on the sidewalk. The ladder was leaning against the wall. The painter was standing about 10 feet above the sidewalk. He was holding a spray gun. He was painting the wall with a spray gun. He was painting the wall white. The wall was part of the 99-cent store. The store had big glass windows. The painter had taped plastic over the windows. Plastic covered the big glass windows. The painter wore goggles over his eyes. The goggles covered his eyes. Customers walked into the store. Customers walked out of the store. They walked under the ladder. They walked under the painter. Tiny drops of paint fell on the customers. Tiny drops of paint fell on the cars. Tiny drops of paint fell on the sidewalk. The painter didn't care. Tiny drops of paint were not his problem.
The indoor antenna.
Brian didn't have cable TV. He didn't have satellite TV. He had an antenna for his TV. He had an indoor antenna. But it was an old antenna. The reception was bad. He needed to buy a new antenna. He went to Best Buy. The antennas were in boxes. He looked at the boxes. Which antenna was the best? He asked a clerk at Best Buy. "Which antenna is the best?" he asked the clerk. The clerk said, "This is the best antenna." He showed Brian the box. Brian asked the price. "What is the price?" he asked. The clerk said the price was $50. Brian took the antenna home. He plugged one end of the antenna into his TV. He plugged the other end of the antenna into the wall socket. He turned on his TV. The reception was bad. He returned the antenna.
A new family.
"I'm too old to have children now," Kim said to her friend. "But I have a lot of money. I have enough money to adopt children. I am going to adopt 2 baby children. I am going to adopt a baby girl and a baby boy." Kim went to the adoption agency. She said, "I want 2 babies, please. I want a little girl and a little boy." The woman at the agency said okay. She told Kim to fill out many forms. Kim had to fill out lots of forms. After she filled out all the forms, Kim gave them to the woman. The woman told her that now Kim must wait. She had to wait for the 2 babies. "How long do I have to wait?" Kim asked. The woman said Kim might have to wait 1 year. Kim said, "That's okay. I can wait 1 year."
Something's biting him.
Joe went to the doctor. He had red bites all over his body. He had red bites on his face. He had red bites on his chest. He had red bites on his back. He had red bites on his legs. But he didn't have red bites on his feet or hands. "Why don't you have red bites on your feet? Why don't you have red bites on your hands?" Dr. Brown asked. "I don't know. I am the patient. You are the doctor. Why do I have red bites all over my body?" asked Joe. Dr. Brown said Joe had fleas. "You have fleas," Dr. Brown said. "Do you have a dog?" Joe said he didn't have a dog. "Then get a dog," said Dr. Brown. "Why should I get a dog?" Joe asked. "Because then the fleas will bite the dog instead of you," said Dr. Brown.
School starts.
It was the first day of school. Pete was in the first grade. He got on the school bus. It was a big yellow school bus. He did not know the kids on the bus. The kids on the bus did not know him. Many kids were talking. They were talking with one another. Pete sat in a seat by himself. He sat alone. He looked out the window. His mom was standing outside the window. He waved goodbye to his mom. She waved goodbye to him. The bus took off. The bus was going to school. Another boy sat down next to Pete. He said hello to Pete. Pete said hello to him. The boy's name was Eddie. He was in the first grade. He said he was a new student. He didn't know anyone. Pete said he was a new student too. He didn't know anyone either.
White spots.
Mark heard a noise. What was the noise? It was a steady noise. It wasn't a loud noise. It was a steady, quiet noise. He opened his apartment door. He looked outside. A painter was next door. A painter was spray painting a fence. He was spray painting the fence next door. He was spray painting the fence white. Mark walked downstairs. He walked over to his car. His car was dark blue. He looked for tiny white spots on his dark blue car. He didn't see any tiny white spots. He got into his car. He drove it out to the street. He parked his car on the street. He went back upstairs. The painter finished painting the fence. Mark went out to his car. He saw big white spots on his blue car. He looked up in the tree. He saw a big black bird in the tree.
Her Meow Book.
Lulu couldn't find her favorite book. Her favorite book was about a cat. The name of the cat was Meow. The name of the book was How is Meow? Lulu asked her mom, "Mommy, where is my Meow book? Where is How is Meow?" Her mom didn't know. "Where did you leave it? Do you remember where you left it?" Lulu didn't remember. "I don't remember," she said. They looked in the kitchen. They looked in the living room. They looked in the bedroom. They couldn't find her favorite book. That night Lulu got ready for bed. She brushed her teeth. She put on her pajamas. She got into bed. She put her hand under her pillow. She felt something under her pillow. "Mommy," she yelled, "I found my book. I found How is Meow. It was under my pillow. Come read it to me, please."
A birthday dress.
It was Ellen's 12th birthday. Ellen was 12 years old. Her mom took her shopping. They went shopping at the mall. "You can pick out a dress. You can pick out a pretty dress," Mom said. "I will pick out a pretty blue dress," Ellen said. They went into J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney sells lots of dresses. Ellen saw a blue dress that she liked. "I like that dress, Mom," she said. She took the dress into the dressing room. She put on the dress. It fit her well. She walked out of the dressing room. "The dress fits you well," said Mom. "Can I have it?" Ellen asked. "Of course you can have it, dear. It's your birthday present," said Mom. "But it's not on sale," said Ellen. "We always buy everything on sale." "It's your birthday, dear. On your birthday we can pay full price," said Mom.
She's so lonely.
She lived in New York City. He lived in Los Angeles. They were in love. "I feel so lonely," she said. She was crying. "Your family is in Los Angeles. You have your brothers. You have your sisters. You have your parents. Who do I have? I don't have anyone. I don't have any brothers. I don't have any sisters. My parents are in China. I come home to my apartment every night. No one tells me hello. No one gives me a hug. No one gives me a kiss. I have a big, empty apartment. I hate it. It's so big. It's so empty." She cried some more. She blew her nose. "When are you moving here?" she asked. He said, "My boss won't let me move there for another 6 months. My boss won't let me move there now." She said, "Who is more important, your boss or me?"
Golf lessons.
Tim called Howard. Tim needed help. He needed help with his golf swing. He had a bad golf swing. He was a bad golfer. Howard had a good golf swing. He was a good golfer. "Will you help me improve my golf swing?" Tim asked. "Yes, I'll help you improve your golf swing," said Howard. "Why do you want to improve it?" Tim said, "My boss thinks I'm a good golfer. He wants to play golf with me next week." "Next week?" asked Howard. "You want to improve your golf swing by next week? I can't help you." "Why can't you help me?" asked Tim. "Because you have a bad golf swing. It will take many weeks to improve your golf swing," said Howard. "But I only have 1 week," Tim said. Howard told Tim to pray for rain next week. "Okay, I'll pray for rain," said Tim.
A quiet pet.
Lisa liked to visit her friends. All her friends had pets. Her friends had dogs. Her friends had cats. Her friends had birds. Lisa didn't have any pets. She didn't have a dog. She didn't have a cat. She didn't have a bird. "Can I have a dog, Daddy?" Lisa asked. Daddy said no. He said a dog barked too much. "Can I have a cat, Daddy?" Lisa asked. Daddy said no. He said a cat meowed too much. "Can I have a bird, Daddy?" Lisa asked. Daddy said no. He said a bird sang too much. "All my friends have pets. Can't I have just one pet?" she asked. "Okay," Daddy said, "but it must be a quiet pet. I'll buy you a quiet pet." He went to the pet store. He bought a pet. He gave Lisa her new pet. "Daddy, "It's a goldfish," Lisa said.
Brown spots.
He cut open the lettuce. The lettuce had brown spots in it. He cut open the avocado. The avocado had brown spots in it. He cut open the apple. The apple had brown spots in it. He cut open the banana. The banana had brown spots in it. Everything had brown spots. Where did these brown spots come from? He hated these brown spots. He cut the brown spots out of the lettuce. He cut the brown spots out of the avocado. He cut the brown spots out of the apple. He cut the brown spots out of the banana. He threw all the brown spots into the trash. He said, "Goodbye, brown spots. I got rid of you. I got rid of all of you. Stay out of my fresh food." The brown spots said, "You got rid of us this time, but we will be back."
He forgot again.
Michael put a frozen burrito into the microwave. He sat down and read the newspaper. He read the sports section. He got up. He went to the microwave. He took out the burrito. It wasn't hot. It wasn't warm. It was still frozen. He had forgotten to turn on the microwave. He turned on the microwave and sat down again. Michael put some water into a pot. He put 2 eggs into the pot. He put the pot on the stove. He set the timer for 15 minutes. He sat down and read the newspaper. He read the business section. The timer went off. He got up. He went to the stove. The water wasn't hot. The water wasn't warm. The water was still cold. He had forgotten to turn on the burner. He turned on the burner. He set the timer again.
A black president.
He walked into the doctor's office. The receptionist said hello. He said hello. She asked if he had an appointment. He said, "Yes, I have an appointment at 2:00. She told him to sign in. He signed in. "Which doctor are you seeing?" she asked. "I'm seeing Dr. Evans," he said. She told him to take a seat. Dr. Evans would see him in a few minutes. He took a seat. He opened a magazine. The name of the magazine was Time. He looked at the date on the magazine. The date was November 17th, 2008. The magazine was 1 year old. He didn't mind. Old news was interesting. New news was interesting. He read the old news. It was about a new president. Barack Obama was the new president. He was the new president of the United States. Everyone was so happy. Finally, a black man was president.
The wrong train.
Carol said they must leave early. They were going to the airport. They were going to JFK Airport. "We must leave 2 hours early," she said. "You never know what can go wrong." "What can go wrong?" Clint asked. "We get on the train. We take the train to JFK Airport. Nothing can go wrong." "Of course something can go wrong," she said. "Something can always go wrong." They left 2 hours early. They got on the wrong train. They didn't know they were on the wrong train. The train made many stops. Finally, it got to the last stop. Everyone got off the train. "This isn't JFK Airport. Where are we?" Carol asked another passenger. The passenger said they were on the wrong train. "We are on the wrong train," she yelled at Clint. "It's a good thing we left 2 hours early," Clint said.
Does it hurt?
Jenny went to the lake. She went to the lake with her dad. It was a big lake. It was a big blue lake. It had a lot of water in it. It had a lot of fish in it. Big fish were in the lake. Little fish were in the lake. Jenny didn't see any fish. "I don't see any fish. Where are the fish, Daddy?" she asked. "They're swimming around. They're looking for food," her dad said. Dad put a worm on a hook. "Does the hook hurt the worm?" Jenny asked. "No, the hook doesn't hurt the worm," her dad said. "How do you know?" she asked. "How do I know?" her dad asked. "Well, the worm doesn't say anything, so I guess the hook doesn't hurt it." Jenny said, "But how can the worm say anything, Daddy? The worm can't talk."
Hot chocolate.
Donna got dressed. It was cold outside. She put on a warm jacket. She put on a warm hat. She put on some warm gloves. She walked outside. It was cold. She could see her breath. She could see everyone's breath. She walked to the corner. She went to the house on the corner. She knocked on the door. Mrs. White opened the door. "Hi, Donna," she said. "Come in, dear. It's so cold outside. Let me make you a cup of hot chocolate." Donna went in. She drank 2 cups of hot chocolate. Then she said goodbye to Mrs. White. She walked to the next corner. She went to the house on the corner. She knocked on the door. Mrs. Brown opened the door. "Hi, Donna," she said. "Come in, dear. It's so cold outside. Let me make you a cup of hot chocolate." Donna said, "Oh, thank you, Mrs. Brown."
He will go to heaven.
Adam was doing his homework. He stopped doing his homework. He was bored. He didn't like homework. "Dad, what happens when we die?" Adam asked. "You will go to heaven," Dad said. "Does everyone go to heaven?" Adam asked. "No, only good people go to heaven," Dad said. "What is heaven like?" Adam asked. "It is a happy place," Dad said. "Everyone is happy. Everyone is your friend. Everyone likes you. You like everyone." He told Adam to be polite. He told Adam to be honest. "If you are polite and honest, you will go to heaven," Dad said. Adam said, "I want to go to heaven. I will be polite and honest." Dad said there was one more thing. Adam had to do one more thing to go to heaven. "What's that?" Adam asked. "If you want to go to heaven, you have to do your homework," Dad said.
Cookies for students.
Cindy's teacher was Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones was old, but she didn't walk slow. She walked fast. She didn't have white hair. She had black hair. She wasn't bent over. Her back was straight. All the students liked Mrs. Jones. They especially liked her on Friday. On Friday, she brought cookies to class. She gave cookies to all the students. The cookies were delicious. All the students liked the cookies. All the students ate the cookies. Today was Friday. Mrs. Jones gave cookies to all the students. All the students said, "Thank you." Then they ate the cookies. But Cindy didn't eat her cookie. Mrs. Jones asked, "Why aren't you eating your cookie, Cindy?" She said, "I'm not eating my cookie because I will take it home. I will share it at home with my sister." Mrs. Jones said, "You're so sweet. Here's a cookie for your sister."
Teacher feels dizzy.
The teacher walked into the classroom. He said, "Good evening, everybody." The students said, "Good evening, teacher." He walked over to his desk. He put his briefcase on his desk. He opened his briefcase. He took his notebook out of his briefcase. He took his books out of his briefcase. Suddenly he felt dizzy. The room was spinning. He sat down. What was wrong with him? He put his hands on the desk. The desk was spinning. He closed his eyes. He opened his eyes. He didn't know what to do. What was wrong? He was sitting in his chair, but he felt like he was floating in air. How could he be floating in air? He sat in his chair for another minute. His students were talking to one another. They did not know how he felt, but he didn't tell them how he felt. He didn't say anything.
Clothes shopping in NYC.
I went to Century 21 today. Century 21 is a popular clothing store. Many people shop there. Many people buy clothes there. It has many bargains. It has bargain prices. It sells clothes at bargain prices. Today I bought a winter cap. I can pull the cap down over my ears. It will keep my ears warm in the winter. I bought a pair of leather gloves. They will keep my hands warm in the winter. I bought a pair of boots. They will keep my feet warm in the winter. I paid $170 for the cap, gloves, and boots. The regular price was $355. I saved $185. I love that store. I tell my husband to shop there. I tell my kids to shop there. I tell my friends to shop there. Century 21 is always crowded. It is never empty. Everyone loves that store.
A small apartment.
The big family lived in a one-bedroom apartment. Their apartment had only one bedroom. Mom and Dad slept in the bedroom. The two babies also slept in the bedroom. 4 people slept in the bedroom. 4 children slept in the living room. 2 sisters slept in the living room. 2 brothers slept in the living room. All 4 of them slept in the living room. They slept on air mattresses. They leaned the air mattresses against the wall in the daytime. They put the air mattresses on the floor in the nighttime. They all liked to sleep on the air mattresses, but the girls didn't like to sleep next to the boys. "Daddy, we don't like to sleep next to the boys. We want our own bedroom. When will we get our own bedroom?" asked one girl. "You'll get your own bedroom when I get a better job," Daddy said.
A short plane trip.
The plane was waiting to take off. The plane was in line on the runway. One plane was ahead of it. Many planes were behind it. Everyone wanted to get up into the air. Everyone was tired of sitting on the ground. Planes are for flying, not sitting. Planes are like birds. Birds are for flying, not sitting. A man stood up. The flight attendant told him to sit down. The man ran to the bathroom. He locked the bathroom door. The flight attendant knocked on the door. She knocked and knocked. The man didn't come out. The flight attendant told the captain. The captain went back to the bathroom. He knocked on the bathroom door. The man didn't come out. He said, "Leave me alone. I want to be alone." The captain took the plane back to the airport. Everyone was angry at the man in the bathroom.